Hey everybody. Today let's talk about AI, some of the common misconceptions about it, and why using AI to make up for a lack of skill doesn't tend to result in great outcomes. At this point, we've all heard about AI and we've at least tried out some sort of AI tool. My first experience with AI was during the early days of COVID, when the first AI copywriters started getting some buzz. So I'm not really the greatest writer. I'm really probably just barely a competent writer. So I was interested in anything that could help my writing, or I guess more importantly, something that could help me turn my ideas into better written articles. That idea quickly faded as the results weren't very good and weren't even really usable. At that time, I felt like AI was better left to being just a copy editor and letting us know when we have grammatical errors, misspellings, punctuation mistakes, stuff like that. You know it's bad when someone who isn't that good can see just how bad it is. Then a couple years ago, ChatGPT started getting some buzz because the writing was actually cohesive, and it has only improved since then. And this is where things start to get a little bit fuzzy because as more people started trying it, we started hearing more mixed reactions, ranging from stuff like, this is great, to, I don't know what all the buzz is about. I tried it and it just wasn't that good. I see the same thing with Descript. In the editors groups I'm a part of, I see comments like, I can't stand listening to a show that was edited in Descript. Like, Descript has some kind of sound. The thing we need to keep in mind is that there's a direct correlation between how well AI performs and how skilled the operator is in that particular field. Let me pause things here for just a moment. If you feel like you're getting value out of this video, give it a like, and since I'm starting up a mailing list, if you'd like to get some content, course announcements, and discounts delivered to your inbox, you can sign up at tansiasteracademy.com/contact. Now, let's move into another example, and this time I'll use Descript. I've edited entire episodes in Descript, and no one would know the difference because I know what a good edit sounds like, and I know how to fix the mistakes that Descript makes. The comment that I can't stand listening to episodes edited with Descript can really be translated to mean I don't like to listen to poorly edited shows, because that's what we're hearing. We're not hearing Descript, we're just hearing bad editing. It's no different than if a person were to edit manually in a DAW. Actually, Descript is likely to help a person out in creating a higher quality episode than if they were doing it all manually. And all of this is kind of the key point behind AI. We need to have a solid understanding of the task we are having AI do so that we can see when it misses the mark. We've all used a GPT of some sort and got results that were way off. Here's an example from today using ChatGPT. I asked it what Hindenburg Pro was, and then I asked a follow-up question about what plugins are included. This is the response that ChatGPT 4.0 gave. It said that Hindenburg includes a voice profiler, auto-leveling, compressor, limiter, noise reduction, de-esser, EQ, fade handles, and room tone matching. If you're not familiar with Hindenburg, you're probably going to think that this is likely because it sounds plausible and it's in line with what other DAWs tend to include. Hindenburg does not include a limiter, de-esser, or the room tone matching. This shows one of the big misconceptions about GPT-style AIs. It's easy to think that since they're trained on the internet and various other resources, that it understands what it's reading and what it's writing. But that's not how it works. GPTs work by analyzing the data and looking for patterns and provide us with the most likely output. In the example above, It is likely looking for patterns around plugins included in a DAW, which is why it is hallucinating here. Hindenburg probably doesn't help themselves in this instance because there isn't clear documentation on the web or even a web page that clearly answers this question. But these are just two examples, but I'm using them to show that the results we get from AI are directly tied to our skill and experience level. And we can look at the spectrum of AI users. On one end, we have those who have little to no relevant skills. And on the other end, we have those who have relevant skills and experience. And then we do have another group past the skill and experience group, and those are the people who think that AI is not as good as they are, so they're just not going to use it. If we're going to use ChatGPT with the goal to research and write an article, whose article do you think is going to be better? The person with little to no skill in the subject matter or writing articles in general, or the person who is a subject matter expert in both of those areas? AI is just a tool, but it shouldn't be relied on as a crutch, or what you're creating with AI will never be better than AI. So what do you think? Do you use AI? How do you use it? What AI tools have impressed you? What tools have left you unimpressed? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.